Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. First of all, I wanted to apologize for a long delay on coming up with this performer video. I know a lot of people were actually waiting for this video, but I really couldn't make it sooner because of a lot of things that I'm actually occupied on. So now I'm going to release these videos back to back, the performer videos, and not just that, I'm also going to tell you apart from the technical aspects, I've already spoke about the solutioning, which was there in my last video, how we are actually streamlining the solution. So this is the one, like how we are going ahead with the solutioning. And also I am going to tell you how you can organize your project and how you can develop the project in such a way that it looks more compact, and how you can utilize the best practices, how you can eliminate the hard coding values, and how you can utilize RE framework and queues in your project. So without any further ado, and also as I promised you, I'm gonna release the videos back to back within next couple of days, so you will have enough things to learn and you can also finish up doing the performance. So I promise you this, and with that, let's get into the video. So for the active loans process, we have seen the dispatcher, and now I'm going to build the performer. So for that, I'm going to name this as active loans performer. And let's give a small description where, the user enters into bots DNA site, right? And the user fetches the zip file as per the, I believe, account number. Let's cross check. This is our input file, right? As per the last four digits of the account number, and unzip them to fetch further more details. Okay, so this is a small process, but I still make sure that I tell you everything end to end with respect to project organization and exception handling, reporting mechanism, and all of this. So now with this small, to-dos, we'll start this video. And in this video, I am going to split this again into few parts. So in this video, what are you going to see completely by end of this video is this. How to fetch the last four digits from the queue item, because basically our queue item consists all these account numbers. So we want only these last four digits in order to fetch this zip file from the bots DNA site, right? So we will see that one, and later after getting the last four digits, we also wanted to fix the selector, because the whole thing that is happening on the UI automation is regarding the selectors. So how do you actually fix the right selector, stable selector, which does not deviate for the smaller changes on the application, and also which does not fail for other workload items, right? So how do we actually fix the proper stable selector? And also, how do we make it as a dynamic selector? Because we don't select each and every, we don't have a different selector for each and every line item, but we ensure that single selector works for various input parameters. That means you will understand as we proceed in this video. And then once after you click on this, you will be downloading this particular file, right? So you will be getting this file where you have to unzip that. But before to that, if you have observed, this is falling in the downloads bucket. But I don't want this into a downloads bucket, but I want to move this file into my project folder, and later I wanted to perform some manipulations or retrieve it and everything, right? As soon as you move from the downloads bucket, you want to delete this file, because you don't want to refer it, or you when you re-download it, there shouldn't be any glitches. So to ensure that, we will delete this file from the downloads bucket, and later on which, right, we will unzip that particular file. So these are all the different things that I'm going to showcase in this particular video. How do we take this up technically, and how we actually follow these things step by step. Okay, so without any ado, let's get into the video and see how you can approach and do this step by step. But before to that, as you all know, Like, even though we have RE framework in place, RE framework is more suitable if you have a modular approach, right? So what I exactly mean is, even though if you have a process, core process that we are going to put these whole things in the process state machine, I would prefer going into a modular approach. That means you create your whole workflow or whole core of your automation into different modules, into small sections, into granular modules. So then whenever there's a need, you can use them, you can reuse those particular modules, and also your maintenance will become easy. Whenever there's an exception, it's easy to track down, and also it is easy to log, right? So all these being said, I wanted to create a first module, which is fetch um what can I say? Fetch the. So basically, what we want to achieve here, we want to fetch the last four digits from the queue item, and we wanted to download the that particular zip file from the application. So I can directly give this as download zip file as per zip file per account. Okay, we can just name it this way because fetching the last four digits doesn't require a lot of code. So let's keep this both of them into one module where we can fetch the last four digits and fix the selector and also download that particular zip file. So if you already know how you can actually fetch the last four digits using the substring method, I've already created a short video on it because I have elaborately spoke about it. So that's why I have made a separate video on that. So if you wanted to learn it, I have actually, recommend you to go through that video, because the reason being, I have explained not only limited to this particular use case, but also spoke about different various syntaxes. Because if you are going to attend an interview, then definitely they will ask you this kind of questions. What are the different syntaxes you can use in order to extract the substring, right? So I just uploaded a video on my channel. So you can just find extract last characters from string easily using UiPath substring. So this is the video where I was spoken about three different ways how you can actually extract the substring from a particular string, right? So you can use this particular syntax to learn it, right? So these are the two ways and how you can actually fetch the last digits by using this particular syntax. So because of having this more elaborate video, I would recommend you to go ahead and watch this particular video, which will help you to understand everything end to end. And now, so let me quickly show you. I'm not going to talk too much elaborative about it, but just on a high level. Okay. Let's consider now our input account number is this. Okay. Let's consider this as our account number. It's your account number. Okay. Okay. So I'm giving STR account number. Let's consider this is my account number that I'm receiving from Q. So as of now, whatever I'm doing is only modular. So you can have everything hard coded like this. But later, like once after we develop the whole project, later I will tell you how you can replace this hard coded things using RE frameworks Q items. Okay. So just for understanding, just to develop, I wanted to keep it modular. I would also recommend you to follow this practice because when you start, you wanted to test everything in and out. So for that purpose, if you start right from the queue, it will be a lot of, you have to connect it, you have to test everything, you have to push the items into the queue every single time. So I would recommend go for a modular approach. Do everything as a, as a unit, and then you integrate everything. So that is way your development process will be faster. Okay, so now the account number is this, and after that I wanted to fetch the last four digits of the account number. So for that I'm giving str last or sub account number. Let's name like this, sub account number, right? So for this purpose, what I'm actually using, I'm using string function, which will fetch me the last four digits. Okay, I'm taking actual account number, which is the full account number dot substring. Okay, and then from the full account number, what I'm doing here, I'm taking the length of it. I wanted to take last four digits. So I am using this particular syntax where from the length I'm subtracting 4 and I'm extracting last four digits. So I have explained the complete syntax, why I'm writing this, what happens over here, why, what considers the substring syntax, everything clearly in this video, which I've just showcased you. So please watch that video. This will give you enough understanding. But yes, on a high level, this substring basically uses the syntax like this, where this will be the start index and this will be the length. Okay, so just save this and this will fetch me the last four digits. Okay, let's check it by using a log message. Sub account number. So for this also, I will just truncate the account to ACC. Okay, and then debug files. Okay, so now you can say 7325 is my last four digits. So like this, I wanted to fetch for all of them, right? So this will work for any type of the value that you pass over the account number. Perfect. So now what I wanted to do is, after I extract that number from there, I wanted to click on that particular number where the number is showing in the loan code, under loan code, right? So how can I do that? For which I wanted to create one particular selector. Okay, so let's first take the click activity. Okay, so I'm just using the classic ones, indicate on screen. So this is the one that I wanted to click on. Just click on it, and now this will have a raw selector. Okay, and this raw selector, we are going to streamline it. Okay, so if you want to understand more about selectors, how this actually works, what are these different attributes, which one to select and which one to not select, I would also recommend you, there was a very basic beginners guide video on my channel. So because if you're starting it for the first time, maybe in this video I'm not able to talk completely about everything, but yes, here if you see web UI automation, and in this particular playlist I have spoken about the selectors, UI explorer, what are the different attributes, what is a full selector, everything in detail. Okay, so this particular video, if you are a beginner, then this particular playlist, like, it just have only 14 videos with shorter duration, like 5 minutes, 6 minutes, something like that, right? So this particular playlist will give you enough idea about UI automation and how you can actually stabilize your selectors. So I would highly recommend go through this particular videos, because I cannot say the same things again and again. If you are a beginner, then definitely this video will definitely be a handy for you to understand everything in detail. And yes, coming back over here, in this, to make it a stable selector, first thing is I would eliminate the table row, because I don't want it to keep this specific with respect to rows, right? So I'll keep a name, but then I will take off this and I'll keep replace this with my wildcard. And if you observe, the 7325 is specific, right? This 7325 is specific with respect to, so if you see, the second one is 6673, 5652, right? 5652, 7541. This is specific with respect to the invoice account that we are using, right? So this one I will be passing dynamically. But if you see here, let's validate it. Highlight. This is highlighting. So let's say 6673. And then I will change this 6673. And now validate and highlight, right? Let's go for 6294. 94. Validate, highlight, right? Perfect. Let's check one more. 6556. Perfect, right? So you understood that whole selector is constant, dynamic, but whole selector is static, but only this particular value keeps varying, and you have to pass this value dynamically, which will make your selector more robust and more scalable, right? So for that purpose, what we can do is you have to pass this value dynamically. Okay, so let me just show you how you can do this. But before to that, let me just quickly take up this in this whole selector. Okay, and here it has come. And now what I have to do, so let's first what we do is let's assume that we click on it and then it downloads the zip file. Okay, we just check this how this is working. Right, it clicked on that particular file and the zip file got downloaded. Right, this is the latest zip file that it has downloaded. Now to make it more dynamic, what I'm doing here is, you already know, if you have seen that particular playlist, let me also make this wait for ready complete. Okay, that means it will wait if you're trying to open the application page until it gets loaded completely. So now if you see here, this particular selector, right, in this particular selector under AA name, only this value 6556, only this value is has to be replaced with sub account number, because this sub account number contains the value which we have truncated, right? So just take off this and then put two double quotes, and inside that add this sub account number with a plus. Okay, so how I have done it, let me show you. After you have made the changes, you can observe that the selector window appears in a different way, right? So this is the way that you can add the AA name, right? This has to be like this, where my actual number was there, I replaced it with this value, which is under double quotes and plus because it's a string. And then I added this particular value over here. And then this is the simplest way as per me, but you have to do it only inside the selector panel. You have to do it only inside the selector panel. If you do it over here, it will not be taken that way, because it will be considered as a it will be providing the ampersand symbol, which will not be considered as a valid selector. So what I would suggest is, whenever you take the selector, right, go to wherever you wanted to change the dynamic value, replace that value, put two double quotes. Let me just give you. Okay, inside that particular value. So let's say here I had AA name as this, right? As star 6556, right? So what you can do, you can just replace this with two double quotes, and inside that, this is a string, right? So that's why I just replaced it with string. That's it. Quite simple, right? This is the place where you had your value, which is keep on changing dynamically. So there you have replaced it with the string. Perfect. That's it. And now what you can do is it simply works with whatever the value that you pass over there. Okay, it will just keeps downloading the items. So now we will just check with 7325. I think we've already checked with it. Let's check with 1654 also. Let's change this number to 1654. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Perfect. It has downloaded 1654 zip file. But then if you see here, the file that got downloaded is going into the downloads bucket, right? I spoke about this. It is going into the downloads bucket. Let's check. Yeah, it is in the downloads bucket. So what you wanted to do, you should pick this file from downloads into your project folder. Okay. So let's do one thing. uh, I've already spoke about how you can actually move these files, right? So in my dispatcher video, we have done this. When we downloaded the input file, we have moved the file. So if you have already watched that video, I want you to not go back there, but try to recollect what was the syntax we used in order to fetch the file from the user profile, from the downloads bucket of the user profile. How we have actually done that? Do you remember that syntax? If so, please do comment it below this video, and also comment yes, I do remember. So like, if you are forgetting that, then I would recommend you to make a document where you can keep all these syntaxes handy, because you will use them anywhere else in different projects, right? So across various projects you can use them. So keep a document of it and you can save it forever. And yes, now I'm using the same syntax and moving the file from downloads bucket to my project folder. Okay. So before to that, I will just take an assign activity. Okay. And then I'm first fetching the user profile, because wherever you download, wherever you run this process, the user profile will be different, correct? So I wanted to keep it dynamic. So I will give a specific user profile, right? So for that purpose, I'm going. So let me not write the whole stuff because we've already seen it in the dispatcher video. So let me just take that as it is. But if you want, I can just explain you. Environment.get folder path, environment.specific folder, special folder dot user profile. So this will give you the user profile where, in which profile or in under which user you are running this process. And from there, you wanted to take from the downloads location, right? So I'm using path.combine. Okay, path.combine user profile from user profile. What I wanted to combine, downloads folder, right? So from the downloads, and what else? Here, if you observe, I want you to make a key note of this. Here, if you observe, the path or the name of the file is 5349, which is coming as the account number, right? Okay, let me take this thing completely because it will be this one, right? Right? This is the name of the file. So now I also want to replace it over here because it is a different name. Okay, this is the actual name, correct? So the name of the file is the actual account number name. So if you closely take a look, the name of this is the account number name, right? And .zip. So for that purpose, what I'm doing here is just add a plus and str account number, and then also we are adding a .zip. Okay, with this, our location of the file is complete, right? From the user profile, inside the downloads folder, you wanted to fetch a file which has the same account number, and that's a zip file, correct? Save this, and after that, you have to move the file from this location to which location? To our project location. So for that purpose, we will be using environment dot current directory, and in this input, in the input folder, I will be moving it. Okay. First, let's move this and later we can Is there anything? Sorry. So here path dot combine, and here combining this two. Okay. Save. So from the downloads folder, I'm moving this particular zip file into my current project folder inside the input folder. Okay. So let's check it out and do it again. So before do that, let me just delete this file from here. Okay, done. Let's do it in the debug mode. Okay, so let's check this in the downloads. So it has got downloaded, and now we will be moving this file, right? And now let's check this file if it's there in the input folder. Yes, it has moved. And also what we have to do, we should delete this file. Whatever the file that we have moved, we should delete that file. So let's also write to delete file. Okay. What is the location of the delete file? The same thing. Correct. From the downloads location only we wanted to delete. So let's rerun it again and check it. So here, if I download it again, so it got replaced with a new file. So this is actually something good, right? So let's also, but here cannot create the file because it's already existing, right? So for this purpose, you have to keep this in mind that you cannot, because you need to use this for exception handling, right? So I'll just keep a note of it in our next sessions. So because all these things you have to handle, if you don't handle them and leave the project just by considering the positive flow, it will not work, right? You have to make sure that your code work in exceptional and in all other different scenarios also, right? So we will make sure that we cover this particular scenario. Okay, just ignore and then delete. So let's check if the file got deleted from the downloads. It's got deleted. And now, perfect. So now we have created this whole workflow, right? And now what we are doing, we also have to unzip the file. So let's also unzip the file, extract or unzip files, right? And file to extract, destination folder, and all of that. Okay. So first of all, okay. So what is the file to extract? This is the file, right? So let's take it from the input folder. And what is the destination location? If you take this off, let's explore this. Okay. Extracted contents folder. Extracted contents. Let's mention this name. Okay. And then if you just add one log message, if we just add one log message, then we can see what's there here. Okay. Str extracted contents. And before to that, let me also delete this file because it will throw an exception. So now let's rerun this whole workflow again. Okay. Now we have a breakpoint here. Let's also keep one breakpoint here. So could not find file. Okay. So this is just a location that I've given, but also sorry, this is my bad because here this is just a input location, but also we have to provide the path, exact path. So the exact path would be inside the input folder. I also wanted to go inside this folder and then account number dot zip, right? This is the actual folder name. Inside the input, we have this. This is perfect, right? Nice. Let's go ahead and then do it one more time. Okay, let's go to the project folder. Perfect. So now let's also, it got extracted. Let's see what it got extracted. So after it has extracted, we didn't give any location, right? So where it has extracted into, okay, there is no information, right? So let's also see if there are any, okay, there is no extracted contents details also. Okay, it's a directory info. Okay, so now what we will do is we will change this location. Okay, we will change this location to the output folder and then we can retrieve it from there. Okay, just copy this, put it over here, output, into output folder. Just the folder information is enough and it will be extracted as it is. So now we will just go over this. But before that, I need to delete this file because it's a will not let you to move the file to the same location. Okay, just delete it and then move the file. Now let's go and check it in the output folder if we have the extracted. So we have got the extracted file, which is this, which is a text file. Perfect. So we have unzipped it and we now could see that it has gone into the output location. Perfect. So this is the thing that we wanted to cover in this video, right? So we have fetched the last 4 digits of the queue item, which is a sub account number. Correct. We have taken this account number. We have fetched the last 4 digits. For complete video, watch that whole video which I've referred. And from there, we have to click on that particular selector for which we have to create a stable selector. We did it. And then in the stable selector, we have to pass the dynamic values because you wanted to click and download that particular file every single time. And we have observed that only this last 4 digits are the varying criteria. So for which we have passed the last 4 digits, which is sub account number into our selector. So I have shown you how the easiest way to pass that. Just replace whatever is the dynamic variable with this under double quotes and plus plus because this is a string. And then whatever the file that we are downloading, it is getting downloaded into downloads folder. For that purpose, what we were doing, we were moving that file from downloads into our current directory, and after that we are deleting that particular file. So every time the user profile varies, because if you are wanted to run this process across different servers, so to ensure that your process doesn't break or fail even if you deploy in the different servers, you have to ensure that you get the user profile in place. So for that purpose, you have taken the user profile and you pointed to the downloads folder under that user profile. Perfect. And after which you deleted the file, and the file that's there in our input location, which is our account number file, which is in the zip form. So you have unzipped that particular file and that's it, right? We have unzipped that particular file. In the next video, I am going to talk about how we can read the contents from the unzipped file. Okay. because our requirement is still open. You wanted to fetch the records, the details from that particular unzipped file, which are all this information, right? You wanted to fetch all this information, and you have to put it across all of this. And also I told you that I'm going to add one more column, which is status. So I'm going to also talk about these things and how you can integrate it. So I hope you found this video useful. If so, please do share across your friends, and also do comment down below if you wanted to see any other use cases, or if you want to have any conversation with me on LinkedIn or on Zoom. I'm happy to help you guys. So do reach out, and also let me know if you are enjoying this particular series. Thank you so much for watching. And also, as I promised, I'll release the next video very soon. Bye.